Do you wake up in the morning still feeling tired, feeling like you've not really been to sleep, struggling to get out of bed in the morning? Research has shown that 60% of adults report sleep disturbances at least once every night. That was taken from a global sleep survey in 2019. So I wanted to share with you my 5 top tips that can help you sleep differently, make you think about it differently, and how you might be able to influence it yourself. So just imagine that there is a resolution out there for you. It's just finding it. Now, I need to be really clear. I am not a sleep expert, but I am an expert when it comes to the emotional and mental content that may be contributing to your disturbed nights. Because let's be honest, you know most of the things that you can do to help yourself have a better sleep. Things like, making it a dark room, it's a bit cooler, not having your electrics with you, not having caffeine just before you go to bed, avoiding all the exercise. You know all this. Nothing I can tell you there that you don't already know. Some of what I'm going to say, you may well already know, but it's a good reminder. So one of the things that I think can really help is by downloading what's in your head. Now, I call it downloading. So how you want to do it's up to you. But invariably, we've got a lot of noise going on. And you'll know this if you lay down at night and then suddenly all the thoughts suddenly start going. There's a reason for that. And that reason is that you've started to close your other senses. They're starting to be used less and less, so your brain can pick up. It's found a gap where it can start to talk to you so that you have to listen. So rather than waiting until you're laying down, how about before you lay down, make 15 minutes, maybe less, maybe more. You'll need to find what works for you to get down everything that's in your head out and onto either a piece of paper, which is the preference, but if you want to, onto your phone or your laptop. The reason I prefer paper is twofold. You can start to experience the downloading the emotional content. Somehow, unless you're really worked up, typing it out isn't quite the same, whereas writing is allowing you to express whatever's going on. So download any thoughts you may have, any ideas that you know are going to rumble around your head. Write lists for tomorrow, next week, the week after, and most definitely any worries or concerns will really help you. Your brain can then go, or your unconscious mind can go, oh, because it doesn't have to hold on to it. All the time you keeping it in here, it's holding on to it. The second most powerful thing that you can do is to start to become more self-aware. What do I mean by that? It's beginning to notice the events that are happening in your world and what thoughts and feelings are attached to them. Now, point 1 will give you some guidance here. And the more you do it, the more you can. The more you can, the more that you do. And you'll start to see some patterns arising from that. And this is the really important thing, because what's happening is there's a lot of stuff going on that you've got no idea about. Most of what we do, it is said 90% of it is done unconsciously. And I'll explain a bit more that in a moment in point 3. But if it's done unconsciously, it means you don't know it's there until you know it's there. So what I'd like you to do is to become more self-aware. And the downloading at the end of the day is a really good way to do it. Not just for clearing your head, but giving you the patterns that are really going to help you start to identify what's going on for you. So the next thing then, the third tip, is habits. So much of what we do is habitual or routine, and we don't even think about it. When you're cleaning your teeth, where's your mind? It's not on what exactly you're doing. your mind will be wandering. It's routine. The brain knows what's to happen. It's like, yay, bit of a holiday. But it's also a mechanism. Habits and routines are a mechanism for the unconscious mind to know that it's all under control, nothing to worry about, and it can bring your attention to the other stuff that it needs to. Link that to number one and number two, you're starting to see a pattern here. That it's the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, that deeper unconscious mind where all your thoughts and memories and experiences are stored, can start to come through. So just be mindful of your habits. The one thing I want to say about habits before I move on to the fourth thing is that apparently, and it made sense, a good night's sleep starts first thing in the morning. I want you to think about your routines, not just at night, regular bedtimes, making sure everything's done before you go to bed, some quiet, calm, quality time. But I want you to start thinking about first thing in the morning. When you wake up, what's your thought processes? Are they negative, worried about the day ahead? Back to the awareness. Start thinking about it. Start writing about what's going on for you. Or are you waking up feeling good about who you are and what's going on? Make sure that within a very short space of time of waking, that you are actually getting out of bed, ideally at the same time every day. Get some daylight, have a good breakfast, and all the other things that you do. Remember, the body likes a routine, loves a habit, and you might just find the early morning habit and the evening habit will lead you to where you want to be, a better quality sleep. The fourth thing is just be aware of whether you're a night owl or an early bird. And if your partner is the opposite, that can make for some challenges. So you might need to go to bed because you're an early bird, but your partner is a night owl and they come through and they make, lots of noise or whatever. Start to think about how you can manage that better for you and for your partner, because guess what? The roles are reversed in the morning. You're up like the lark, making noise, doing whatever you do. And your partner's like, oh, I'm just not ready. So think about your body clock and what it needs, and then bear in mind your partner's body clock and how you can start to not necessarily sync them because they're natural body clocks, but what you can do is close the gap, if that makes sense. And the last point, sometimes we just don't know what's going on. And I've talked about documenting it and more self-awareness and developing habits and understanding your own body clock. And if none of that is getting to it, start to keep a sleep diary to understand better what is going on. It might be that it's a temporary thing, or it might be something that's longer, an underlying condition perhaps. So it's worth having a look. And what I'd say to you is, if you have a need to have a sleep diary document that you want, reach out and let me know. Happy to share that with you. My name is Kim at kimsearle.co.uk. I'm all about mastering the emotional and mental mindsets that are really going to help people move forward. I hope this is useful to you, and I would love any comments that you may have and you want to send over. And if you need that sleep diary, just let me know and I'll get that over to you. Thank you.